Right, I've come and filled in my ground stitch, and you can see here where my pairs have gone into my ground stitch. So they've just followed on in their lines. So they've come around the curve of the fan, and now they're going in diagonal lines. Now, as I was saying earlier about playing, it had come to mind whether this fan would work as a half stitch or not. So I'm going to try this one as a half stitch. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I'm running low on my thread, is I'm going to swap my workers around. And the easiest way of doing that, I'm just going to undo this last pin. So this is always worth noting. If you're running low on a fan, you can always switch your workers around, providing they're the same colour. I know these aren't, but they are all separate colours. So if you had a colour pair running around the edge, you wouldn't be able to do this. So on this last one, I've been doing cross stitch and twist, and we've already learned that if you do a half stitch, your workers change position, and we want a worker to come from this edge down to this pin. So we know that we have to end up with a worker that is coming in this direction. So instead of doing my cross stitch and twist, I'm going to do a half stitch, because when I close that with a half stitch, ta-da, there's my new worker. I love this method. If you ever need to running out of thread and you need to switch a worker around, a simple act of doing a half stitch, pin, half stitch in a fan will get you a new worker. No need to add any more in unless you're getting running low, really low. Okay, so that's good, because this bobbin here is going to be my worker bobbin, because in half stitch we only have one bobbin as the worker, even though we get a pair, but it's with another coloured bobbin. So I'm going to work out where my widest point pair is. So let's have a look at this, because I've moved all my pairs around so it's not my blue anymore. So I need the pair that is going to this pin. So my green doesn't work because it's going straight down. That needs to go in there. And it's my yellow this time, because I did my half stitch. I've done cross stitch and twist. Now I've done half stitch, and you can see the intricate design that is already happening, because just by doing half stitch and cross stitch, it's really pretty, and you've got so much control over it. Okay, so there's my yellow. So I know I need to go through all of the pairs, but not my yellow. So let's find my worker bobbin. So I'm going to half stitch. I'm just going to wind that thread up before it drops off the edge. Then half stitch, and I'm going to unwind these ones because they're a bit short, and then half stitch through this last pair, and extra twist because we're in half stitch and I want the same bobbin coming back. So there's my first one. So now I'm going to half stitch back through all of my pairs. Now, if I wanted to, I could make it have a cross stitch and twist edge. Shall I do that? Yeah, let's do that. So extra twist on my worker. So I've cross stitch and twist through my last pair, extra twist on my worker, and as you know from the previous video, we don't need to panic, because this one is going to end up in the as my worker bobbin again, because I'm going to cross stitch and twist, and there it is, back in its position. So now we're going to half stitch. I've never seen this fan done in half stitch actually. So this pair is being left off, so I've gone as far as I need to. So close, extra twist, pin up, close with a half stitch, then half stitch through this, and then cross stitch, because we're doing a cross stitch and twist edge. I always think when you're doing a fan in half stitch, having a cross stitch and twist edge gives it a stronger edge. Okay, so then I'm going to cross stitch and twist, half stitch, extra twist, pin up. Now the reason I thought about trying this in half stitch is because it's such an open fan that in theory the half stitch should fill it up. So then half stitch back, cross stitch and twist edge, extra twist on our end pair, pin up, close with a cross stitch and twist. Now we're going to half stitch down through all of these pairs. So that's it. And then we're going to take in our yellow, extra twist and pin up. Now what you do have to bear in mind is that all of my pairs are going to be mixed up now for when I come to do the rest of my fan. So this one might be one where you do it all in one colour, and I think you'll get the effect of the half stitch much better in a single colour than if you're using lots of different colours. So half stitch all the way back, cross stitch and twist in the edge pair, extra twist, pin up. And you can see I'm really having to unwind my pairs at this point. So cross stitch and twist, and now we're going to this short, I call this a short row because this is a long row and that's a short row. So we're only going through 2 pairs, extra twist, pin up, close with a half stitch, cross stitch and twist edge. We can play around with this fan now because we know exactly what we're doing, because we know which pairs are coming in and which pairs are coming out. So cross stitch and twist, half stitch through one more pair, extra twist and pin up, half stitch back, cross stitch and twist edge, that's it, cross stitch and twist, half stitch, half stitch, half stitch, and half stitch back because we've just taken in our final pair, cross stitch and twist, pin up. Oh, now we're at the last one, so I'm going to show you a little something. So let's go back. Okay, so we've got the blue has run all the way down the edge because we've been doing the cross stitch and twist, and the purple, we've got more of a purple fan. Now one of the beautiful things about this is that we can actually control what colour our fans become. So if we were doing this all in cross stitch and twist, so you can see here I've got a blue fan. If I was to make this one a cross stitch and twist and did a half stitch here, I would end up with a purple fan. And then if I did another half stitch here, I would end up with another blue fan. So you can change what colour your fans are just by doing either a cross stitch and twist or a half stitch. So at the moment, this is our bobbin that's in our leader for our half stitch. If I do a cross stitch and twist, if I do a half stitch, and remember that our worker needs to be coming to our next pin down, which is right down here. I haven't pricked this because I wasn't actually planning on playing this much. So I'm doing a half stitch, pinning up and closing that with a half stitch, and this pair now becomes our new worker pair. So let's go and see what that does on the other side. I thought this was only going to be a short video, but this is what I mean about playing. Okay, so at the moment our blues are our worker pair, but let's see what happens if we put that half stitch in. So I'm going to undo that completely, but also my blues are running out. So this is my very last pin of my fan and the start of the next one. Half stitch, pin up, close with a half stitch, and this time I'm going to do it all cross stitch and twist, because then you'll see how I've changed my all my colour of my fan, because at the moment this fan is predominantly blue because you have the blue worker running through it. So let's see what happens when we have a purple pair. Okay, so we know from the other side that yellow is our widest point, so I'm not going to go through anything. I'm not going to go through the yellow, so everything to the right gets included in the start of this fan. cross stitch and twist, because I'm going back into my cross stitch and twist. Okay. So, extra twist and pin up, and you can immediately see that we're going to have a purple fan. So cross stitch and twist. So I'm going to do this fairly quickly because you know how to do this fan now. We've done 3 of them. So I'm going to do this, and then if you come back and we'll have a look and see the difference having a purple worker and switching the worker and what it does. I've completed my fan and I'm now back at that last pin, which is the finish of this fan and the start of the next fan. And so if I do, so up until now I've been doing a cross stitch and twist, and you can see that my blue, my turquoise, has run all the way through that fan into this fan and is now at the end, and my purple has run round the edge through this fan. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to switch them back again. So if I do a half stitch, so don't forget we want to have the worker on this side, the inside. So I've done my half stitch, I've closed with a half stitch, and there's my worker ready to go for the next fan as the worker pair. Now this half stitch, pin half stitch, will work on any of the fans that I've shown you, so you can work a different colour around the edge and a different colour in the main fan, and you'll be able to switch your fans, the colour of them. Now if you didn't want to, you could just literally do a cross stitch and twist and go on to the next fan, but this half stitch pin half stitch gives you the ability to add different colours into your lace and make more of a feature. I think, I'm not sure the half stitch one worked as well because I don't think you get the definition. Whether that would be different if it was all one colour might be something to play with later, but I definitely think this works beautifully, having alternate coloured fans. And so that's your Spanish fan. I had hoped that I could fit in the French fan with this one, but I got a bit carried away with playing, so hopefully you will too, because at this point in your lace journey, when you're just starting, now's the time to actually play, because it doesn't matter when you're sampling if you make the odd mistake. It's more about learning what happens to your threads, where they go to, and how you can use that later in the patterns. And it's worth knowing that although you might have this Spanish fan design and you can't change that, but you can actually change the look of it just by putting in 2 different colors, one for the worker and one for the outside pair, and then changing them by doing a half stitch. Hopefully that's all made sense, and I hope you enjoy making your lace. Have fun creating.